The evening air was buzzing with excitement as we entered the elegant restaurant, greeted by the soft candlelight and the melodious hum of conversation. Nicholas's hand found mine as we made our way through the crowd, and a shared sense of anticipation flared between us. "Can you believe that, Miranda?" Nicholas whispered, awe in his voice. "We are finally here, celebrating the end of the journey we started together." I squeezed his hand gently. A surge of pride surged through me. "It's surreal, isn't it? 35 years of hard work and dedication have led to this moment." We settled down at a corner table, and the warm atmosphere enveloped us in soothing hugs. Sylvia was looking at us across the table, her eyes sparkling with pride. "I'm so proud of both of you," she exclaimed, her voice filled with genuine admiration. Paying off a mortgage is no small task, especially in today's economy. Nicholas nodded in agreement, a mixture of relief and satisfaction on his face. "It wasn't easy, but it was worth it, and we couldn't have done it without your support, Sylvia." As we raised our glasses in a toast, we were overcome by the sense of camaraderie that binds us together in this moment of triumph. We did not even suspect that the tranquility of our holiday would soon be disrupted by an unexpected discovery. The festive atmosphere was shattered in an instant when Nicholas's demeanor changed, his usually cheerful expression replaced by a solemn one. My heart was pounding with anticipation as he reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a stack of papers with a flourish. Nicholas, what's going on?" I stuttered, my voice trembling with uncertainty. Sylvia's eyes widened in confusion, her gaze darting between us. Nicholas's lips formed a thin line as he moved the papers across the table, his gaze fixed on me with such intensity that my stomach clenched. "These are divorce papers, Miranda," he stated matter-of-factly, his tone devoid of emotion. "Now that we have paid off the mortgage, I can tell you the truth with peace of mind. I met another woman, her name is Judy. I don't want to deceive you anymore, and have been waiting for the moment when all obligations to the bank will be fulfilled to tell you the truth." The words hung in the air like a thick fog, suffocating and oppressive. I felt as if the earth had ripped out from under me, leaving me hanging in a void of disbelief. "Our divorce?" I gasped, my voice barely a whisper. "But why, Nicholas? What about us?" There was a hint of something unreadable in Nicholas's eyes as he casually shrugged his shoulders. "I've met someone else, Miranda. Someone who makes me feel alive again." My mind was spinning with 1,000 questions, each one more desperate than the last. How could this happen? And who was this woman who stole my husband's favor so easily? The air crackled with tension as Sylvia's voice broke through the heavy silence, her eyes sparkling with determination. "Dad, who is Judy?" she demanded, her tone laced with anger. Daniel shifted uncomfortably in his seat, avoiding our daughter's gaze and trying to find an explanation. "She's someone I met recently, and she understands me in a way that your mother could never understand me." I clenched my fists, the sting of betrayal igniting a fire in me. "How could you do this to us, Nicholas, after everything we've been through together?" Sylvia's brow furrowed in confusion as she turned to me, her eyes searching for answers. "Mom, what's going on? Who is this Judy?" Taking a deep breath, I calmed down before meeting Sylvia's gaze. "Judy is the woman your father dated behind our backs, dear, and it seems she has a history of attacking men in relationships." Nicholas's face paled at my words, his facade of indifference crumbling in front of us. "That's not true, Miranda," he protested weakly. "Judy and I have something real, something special." But Sylvia was not convinced, her voice was full of skepticism. "Is it real? Special? Dad, you're kidding yourself if you think Judy cares about anything other than herself. How can you trust a woman you barely know? Dad, we're your family. Mom and I have always been by your side, and you just turn away from us like that. Know that I will not be able to forgive you, and when you understand all this, it may be too late." With these words, Sylvia and I left the restaurant in complete confusion. After that ill-fated evening at the restaurant, Nicholas and I hardly talked. He stopped by a couple of times to pick up his things. We didn't have a conversation. The truth hung between us like a thick fog, hiding the reality of our ruined family life. The weight of Nicholas's betrayal weighed heavily on Sylvia and me, and I tried my best to support my daughter because it was the strongest blow for her. She was attached to her father, and it was difficult for her to survive such trials. "Mom, what are we going to do?" Sylvia's voice broke the silence, her eyes full of worry and uncertainty. I reached out to squeeze her hand, offering her what little confidence I could muster. "We'll get through this, honey. Together." But in the late evenings, when Sylvia went to bed, I allowed myself to cry quietly in the hope that my love for Nicholas would go away with tears. With a newfound sense of determination to find happiness, we moved forward, leaving behind the ghosts of our past and accepting the promise of a bright future. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, we slowly but surely found a foothold in this new chapter of our lives. The wounds of betrayal began to heal, replaced by a sense of strength and resilience. After all, it was our strength and resilience that helped us survive, paving the way for a future full of endless possibilities. In quiet moments of solitude, Sylvia and I found solace in each other's presence. We leaned on each other, drawing strength from the unspoken bond that bound us together. "Mom, do you think we'll ever really be able to get rid of all this?" Sylvia's voice was soft, with a hint of uncertainty, as we sat together without leaving the house. I put my arm around her shoulders, pulling her to me in a gesture of comfort. "I believe that it will be so, dear. It may take time, but we will find a way back to happiness." Sylvia nodded, a slight smile tugging at the corners of her lips. "I hope so, Mom. I just want us to be happy again." I understood that confronting the harsh reality of our situation was the only way forward. With each new day, Sylvia and I felt better. The pain of betrayal gradually faded. We tried to live a new life without Nicholas. Nicholas tried to establish a relationship with Sylvia, but she was still not ready to communicate with him and reacted sharply to him every time they met. One evening, when Sylvia and I were having tea and discussing plans for the weekend, the phone rang. I picked up the phone and froze in panic at the information I heard. My agitated appearance scared Sylvia. She jumped up to me to help me sit down. "Mom, who called? What happened?" she asked worriedly. I told her that it was a call from the hospital her father was in. He had an accident and was in serious condition. He needed care, as well as expensive rehabilitation, and since his mistress Judy left him after she found out this information, and he has no other close relatives, Sylvia and I called. The next day in the morning we went to the hospital, in complete confusion and not understanding what to do next. Nicholas was covered in bruises and abrasions, with a lot of tubes and ives sticking out of him. He looked very pathetic, and we couldn't just walk away and leave him alone. It was difficult for Nicholas to find words to thank us. He felt constrained and uncomfortable, realizing that despite his actions, we did not abandon him and supported him in a difficult situation. Every day his condition got better and better, as well as our relationship. Little by little we began to communicate. He tried to make amends and took care of me in every possible way. When I was at work, he could cook a wonderful dinner, and we could discuss the events of the day with our family. One evening, as he was going to bed, he met my eyes and began to beg for forgiveness. He said that he realized that the most valuable thing in his life was me and his daughter Sylvia, and that he would do anything for us. I saw that he had changed. Even his gaze was warm and loving, and gradually our relationship improved. We were finally happy and ready to live this life together, a happy and long life.